discarding on its own in a way that has no limits. With everything, discarding is on its own altogether, simultaneously. No grasping is on its own with everything simultaneously, with the whole samsara. Proceed simultaneously with the whole samsara and everything. Proceed simultaneously with the essence of no grasping on its own. Disengaging is on its own, simultaneously with everything. Not attached on its own in a way without limits. With this, it will be purification of the emptiness and extinction without limits, constantly. That is the great compassion proceeding constantly. Stepping back on its own is meant for everything. It's meant for everything. Disengage on its own as well is meant for everything simultaneously. With everything simultaneously. Disengage on its own. Step back to disengage on its own. This is meant for everything. In this way, the purification, the mighty force of purification of the extinction will be proceeding simultaneously. The mighty force of helping through cutting will be simultaneously proceeding. This will end all the narrowness, limitations, with certain extents within oneself. That is narrowness. That which is boundless, child. Disengage in the way without limits. Disengage on its own in the way without limits. In the way that there is no extinction that takes in itself. This is the extinction for samsara in the way of purification through the emptiness and the extinction. No grasping is on its own, child, in a way that is boundless. This will be skillful in sharing the great compassion through the purification of the emptiness. By the essence of the great compassion of Mahasunyata purification, samsara, thoroughly. Disengage even from itself in the way without limits. Opening that is beyond itself. This is the opening that is beyond itself. The desire is projecting forward, is liking that way. Stepping back on its own, go ahead. With everything simultaneously proceeding, disengage is on its own. Proceed simultaneously through the non-attachment that is on its own. This will purify the way of the desire that is projecting forward, being obsessed with taking things into account. This is the state of desire. This is all about creating karma. Stepping back, no grasping is on its own. Proceed simultaneously with everything. Stepping back on its own completely, because there is a lot of stuckness within oneself. Too much stuck within stillness, indifference, maintaining is a lot. All the practice of mindfulness concentration that is truly grasping, maintaining only like that. Grasping, that's why it's become realm of existence as such. Stepping back on its own furthermore. No grasping on its own furthermore. This will release out from all that energy, concentration energy. Use the reminder well, because that will purify everything. Proceed simultaneously with everything. No grasping on its own. Stepping back on its own. Step back on its own. Giving up on its own. Proceed simultaneously with everything, therefore it will be all at once without steps. Purify sunyata through sunyata nibbana all at once. To be obsessed, to use the mind in this way and that way, it will be mental karma and mental karmic difficulties on and on. It will be easier with the essence of the boundlessness. Easier. Because it's been used to narrowness within body, mind, elements, Dhamma. When you say boundless, that's something that can penetrate through well. This is the essence of the Mahasunyata. With everything. With everything. Disengage on its own. This will end all the specificity within one's own mind, within one's knowing, seeing, elements, Dhamma, all that manifestation or fabrication of Dhamma on everything. Disengage on its own is meant for everything. This will opening up from the specificity, because that is realm of existence. That's called realms of the mind, realms of Dhamma, because once dwell with it, therefore it becomes samsara. That is the delusion to maintain, to fixate, to dwell. This is about non-attachment, but it's become fixation and attachment instead. Therefore, it's become realms of existence within the mind, within Dhamma, on and on. Giving up is on its own with everything. No grasping on its own with everything simultaneously. The non-attachment is given, but it's become a fixation. That's why it's become realms of existence. With that which is fixated upon, liberation is given. It's become attachment. It's become practice. Ceasing is given, but it's become a delusion to practice. Therefore, it's just continue endlessly in such a way. It's been given for ceasing, but practicing has been continuous. Therefore, it's endless. Ending supposed to be given, but there is a delusion to practice. Therefore, it's endless. It's become delusive attachment, desire, and delusion within the mind, within Dhamma. It's become a lengthy realms of existence. Proceed simultaneously with everything, stepping back to discard even from the discarding itself. Stepping back on its own, totally. Discarding is on its own altogether, constantly, so that there will be no obsession with just being specific with anything, with just stillness, indifference, looking, seeing, internally, externally, feelings, on and on. That is the delusive attachment that is being specific within itself. This is all about hindrance and obstruction, totally. Discarding is on its own, letting go is on its own. With everything, proceed simultaneously with this essence. No grasping is on its own, totally. So that mind is boundless, purifying all at once, all at once. Disengage is on its own, without limits. Purification of the extinction in the way that is uncountable, all at once. Discarding on its own in a way that is boundless. Discarding even from itself without limits. Step back on its own without limits. Be thorough. That is the extinction of delusion, desire, and delusive attachment. This is the crystallized desire. Delusive attachment that is crystallized within stillness and indifference. Anicca, anatta has nothing to do with that kind of crystallization within desire, delusion, and delusive attachment. This is the oneness that is crystallized altogether. What is there within stillness and indifference? That is stuckness of realms of existence. Giving up is on its own without limits. Continue onwards in such a way. Disengage on its own without limits. Be thorough with it. This will purify without traces. This is called Sunyata Nibbana, purifying samsara. What is there to be made as stillness, indifference? This is anicca and anatta. This is desire, delusion, delusive attachments that join together, crystallized as oneness within stillness and indifference. What is there within that such a state of mind? This is the crystallization of desire, delusion, and delusive attachment. That which is not something to be grasped, but is being grasped. Mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, special insights, meditative power is crystallized by desire, delusion, and delusive attachment. Mindfulness is anatta within itself, is meaningless in itself. How can you grasp it? Concentration is anicca and anatta within itself. All Dhamma is anatta within itself. How can it be grasped? Otherwise, it's going to be realm of existence. More of that, it is the crystallization of desire, delusion, and delusive attachment. It's become realms of existence that is lengthy and sticky. No grasping is on its own, without limits. The boundlessness cannot be limited at all. Why being so limited? Even disengaged is not stuck within itself. It's on its own. It doesn't grasp itself. Even the non-attachment is not stuck within itself. Disengage on its own. Non-attachment is on its own. Go on without limits, with the non-attachment that is on its own. Go on beyond opening, that which is boundless, beyond opening widely. This is not just about narrowness or expansiveness, because otherwise it's going to be a realm of resistance. No grasping is on its own. Non-attachment is on its own. Mind is on its own. It's not just stuck with, not attached to anything. Let's continue to purify through the Mahasunyata powerfully. Non-attachment is on its own. Non-attachment is a kind of traditional belief, traditional value. This has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachment. That which has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachment. The non-attachment doesn't grasp itself. Mind doesn't grasp itself. ไม่ even from ไม่ itself non-attachment is on its own in the way that is boundless. Keep opening, keep on opening. Flowers must open up, blossom out. ไม่แม้กระทั่งไม่เองสรุปล้างไปเลยลูกไม่ even from ไม่ itself. Let's conclude with this purification. Just open up thoroughly. Flowers must blossom out of itself. Blossom out of itself like liberation on its own, without grasping for the liberation. Non-attachment on its own with everything. Keep opening well. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind open up. Don't use the delusive attachment to narrow down, to control anything. Everything is anatta, which doesn't grasp itself. Everything is anicca that doesn't grasp itself. Everything that is anatta that doesn't grasp itself. Therefore, don't use the delusive attachment to control it. No grasping is on its own. Be thorough with it. Beyond opening, opening beyond opening. Without grasping for anything. Even on its own grasping or non-grasping. If you are going to return to dwell within yourself, keep opening thoroughly in the way that is non-attachment on its own. If you return to be with your feelings, open up again towards everything, that which is boundless. Disengaging in the way without limits. No grasping is on its own in the way without limits. This will be beyond birth, old age, sickness and death. If you're still taking things into account, you are in that cycle of birth, old age, sickness and death. When disengage is on its own in the way without limits, then you will not taking things into account. That is beyond birth, old age, sickness and death. Beyond this cycle. Don't be afraid to lose any sentences. Every sentence purifies itself. It purifies samsara and itself simultaneously. Purifying through the emptiness within the sentences that are used. They are not to be used as samsara. Discarding is on its own is not about grasping for discarding anything. This is not to grasp for terminologies. Proceed simultaneously with the essence of stepping back on its own. This will purify all the delusion to be specific. No grasping on its own is with everything simultaneously. Disperse well. Don't maintain anything. Flowers must blossom out.